Hello, sir.
Hello, Gaz. How you doing? Oops, didn't put my trim. Didn't do my gear either. That was quite loud actually. I don't think I've got my settings up higher, so I think I've increased the noise of the gear breaking off. TrackIR definitely seems to work better in War Thunder than it does in DCS. In DCS I get around to about there, and as soon as I start trying to move my head up or down, it's got a problem. Here it doesn't really respond very much, but it doesn't give me a problem. Maybe I should move the TrackIR camera closer to centre, maybe, on my monitor, I don't know. Might be worth a try, so that when I turn my head, it stands more chance of tracking the up and down, although it's getting it at the moment. Getting that flashing, I don't know if you can see it, you must be able to see it. It's when the sun is in front of you, somewhere in front of you, you get that flashing like as if your eyes are being blotted out by the extreme sunlight. But when you're flying away from the sun, it doesn't happen.
I had to do some Windows updates today, got all of my settings reset to default.
Oh great, that's just what you want, isn't it?
But good news about the stick, it's ordered and we are waiting for shipping.
I'll be with you in a second. Oh good, that's good. Just waiting for shipping now, that's good. Oh, that's ground units that are shooting at me. I'm not looking at where I'm going or looking at the map or anything.
and saved enough money for an SSD.
Excellent. Is that just going to be for DCS? The SSD? I'd like to know what it is that he says. It sounds like he's saying moon rising, but I'm pretty damn sure he's not.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Yeah, DCS would definitely do well to have that. I haven't really flown at all week.
A quick question about DCS, sir. Did the new update 2.7 come to the stable DCS so it's not a beta anymore?
Not dead sure, because I only do the beta, but I feel as though what I've seen on the latest DCS, like the Eagle Dynamics emails that we get, I feel as though it has been. I feel as though stable is now 271, yeah. I might be wrong.
I will have to reinstall DCS on the SSD anyways.
Yeah, true. And on my SSD for DCS, that's all I have on it. What size is your SSD?
I guess I'll try my best to buy something that has 240 plus GB.
Yeah, I can check what size mine is if you like, to see if that helps. I think it's either a 240 or it might be a 500, but I think it's a 240 probably. No, I think my pilot's a bit damaged. Let me have a quick look, guys. Hold on. I think it's a 240, but I'll just check. Yep. Well, it comes up as 232 because of stuff that it has to have on it, but yeah, it's effectively a 240 gig SSD.
Whoopsie.
And mine is just over half full, so it's a 232 or 240, and I've got 101 gig remaining. Evening Facebooker, I'm about to take off.
So around 140 gig for DCS on that SSD.
Yeah, I had to sort of upgrade it simply because it was, with updates, it was just getting too close. In fact, I think the last time I wanted to update it, it struggled, or was that? No, that might have been FS2020 that had that, but yeah. Oh look, see I'm talking, I didn't get my gear up. Broke my gear off again, never mind. Doesn't matter, don't care about this. Yeah, so yeah, 240 is what you want because it really is getting too close to the mark if you've got a 120. I mean, there's probably ways you can have it smaller by not having certain things installed, but you want the option to be able to install them, such as the Normandy map and you know, your other aircraft and stuff. I can probably get a scrap with someone up there. Some of those dots are bound to be enemy. And for the sake of the Facebook viewer, this is only a not exactly a test flight. It's what you call a custom battle. So you make it up yourself, and you don't lose any money and you don't gain any money. But it's good for practice, and it's good for making sure that the setup is working okay, such as the stick and your throttle, because sometimes they lose their mappings, and if you do that when you go into a real battle, you're gonna suffer and you're gonna lose stuff. Not that I'm too worried. I've got plenty of the in-game currency, which is called Silver Lions. I've got about 40 odd million, so I'm okay. By the way, for the sake of the person on Facebook, you won't, if you put a message on, I won't see it unless I actually see it on the comments on Facebook. That's why it's better really to view on my YouTube channel or Twitch channel.
And finally found a way to make an online purchase. By the help of someone, I can save even more money for a Spitfire.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you certainly need the Spitfire, guys. If you want to fly with me, you've got to get a Spit. I'd fly the 4A2, whatever it was, 4A. I'd fly that with you until you get your Spit. That one out there could easily be a Wellington, but I'll go for it in hopes that it's enemy. Oh, that's a Sticker. He's in a mess anyway, he's going down. But I didn't get him. And AAA got him.
I watched a ton of DCS dogfights with the Spit. I really want it now.
Yeah, I can well understand that. Yeah, it is good. It's quite different, and of course you get less in the way of the opportunity to fight in DCS because there's a smaller player base. But it's good. It's good. Even if you only do ground attack, in fact I'd recommend that to get started with. I'd recommend ground attack. Just to get the feel of the aircraft. So the person on Facebook, if you were to put a message on, oh hang on, it's not Facebook, it's Twitch, and yeah, okay.
You are right, sir. BRB in a second.
Roger that. Yeah, it's not Facebook. I was looking at the bottom. I've got 3 platforms. I was looking at the bottom one, which in the past I've always had as Facebook, but then I had to rejig something and Facebook ended up in the middle, so that my 2 viewers are Twitch and YouTube, of course. The reason I was talking to the person who I thought was on Facebook is that they can put a message on and I won't see it unless I actually look at the Facebook page, which they can't put a message on this chat that's on screen at the moment, not from Facebook. I don't know why. Oh, he jumped out. Good for him. Well, these have got to be the 2 wellies.
I am back. There is a way to hide the HUD in War Thunder. It makes it more realistic.
Yeah, but there's other things in that. There's things that you can't know that other people will know, and that puts you at a disadvantage. I can't remember what they are, but Laxor will tell you all about that, because he took the HUD off effectively, and there are certain things. I don't think he got kill messages. There's stuff that he didn't get by turning off the HUD. It'll be more realistic, but it'd only work if everyone had the HUD turned off. Now, I can't rearrange the order of platforms that I'm streaming to. I've got to remember now, although it's clearly visible, it shows a big F beside the middle one for Facebook, but I tend to look at just the positions. And from the position, Facebook is now in the middle, not at the bottom. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Yeah, so Gaz, ask Blacksaw about the bad things about turning off your HUD.
Hey up Bill, flying solo tonight.
Hello, Beer Hunter. No, not exactly. I'm just doing the usual. I haven't flown all week. I'm just doing the usual custom battle that I always want to go in with, just to make sure all my mappings are still working and make sure everything's okay and it's a bit of fun. But I will be picking up with Laxor and possibly Undead later on, I guess. Laxor hasn't said yet, but he would normally be here on a Friday, so I'm assuming he'll be here. How's Beer Hunter? Okay.
Might jump in on DCS later. Been trying wrap my head around the 16 again.
Yeah, the 16, it's the gear that's the fun, isn't it? I think with the 16, because if you don't do it right, you break the cables, so you can't get your gear up or you can't get it down, whichever way. But it's a fun plane. Oh, there's a bit of combat there.
Doing well, my friend. Trying to get back into the swing of things with simming again. Tried on weight first, but somehow I just can't do it. Have more success in RB, so stuck with that and keep to DCS.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I mean, if you do plenty of, like I'm doing, just do plenty of custom battles in Sim, that'll pull you back, I'm sure. And custom battles are just good fun. Yeah, you don't earn anything, but in honesty, I'm not worried about the enemy stuff.
I'll have to go now, sir. Have a good flight.
Roger that, guys. Thanks for being there. Catch you again.
Even trimmed my BF109E4 in test flight, but whenever I get it into a game I'm forever fighting the plane. So it quotes warn whether it be how I fly, my stick or what.
Well, I'm just trying to get what you're saying there. Hold on, you trimmed your 109 in the test flight. Whenever I get into a game, oh, what you mean when you get into multiplayer, like combat stuff, yeah? So that's when it goes a bit pear-shaped. I think the difference, if it is combat, the difference is in a test flight you can fly how you want to, and you can fly probably a lot more easily and more controlled. In combat, the enemy is also controlling how you're flying to some degree, because you've got to follow them or avoid them. So your flying is being affected by your enemy and what he's doing.
When I'm actually in a game the fixation stays, but when I'm at the same alt-and speed to how I trimmed it, it doesn't stay straight and level.
So you're at the same altitude and speed as when you trimmed it, but in a battle it doesn't stay straight and level. I wonder if that's something to do with the flight model not automatically being the same in test flight as to what it is in an actual battle.
Hey, I got my first phone.
Hello Captain, your first phone. Right, okay, so what does that mean? What's the main benefit? Being able to call people or watch stuff on it?
No, not in a fight, just flying. And was in sim test flight.
Oh, hang on. I might have crossed wires here. Are you talking about DCS Net or War Thunder?
War Thunder.
Right, sorry, I thought you meant in DCS. That's why I was sort of talking about like test flights and multiplayer. Oh, okay. I would have thought it should be the same. It should work the same, whichever. Right, so you're saying if you take it in an actual test flight, using the test flight facility, it's level and it's fine, but when you go into, say, an EC or whatever, it's not working right. It's not level. It doesn't run true as it did. Now that I think might be because the flight model might be different on a test flight to what it is in a real battle. I don't think it should be, obviously, but cool. I like those explosions. I like those blast patterns. That's very good. Never seen them that well before.
The benefit is that I don't have a dinky device meant for a kid with preset messages.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Just be careful with it, of course. Be careful with it, obviously. I'm sure you're streetwise with all that kind of stuff. You might have already told me, Captain, but what age group do you fall into?
What time do you normally run DCS?
It varies, Beer Hunter. Sometimes we don't get into DCS. We normally start in War Thunder because it's easy going, you know, we do a custom battle maybe, and then perhaps a bit of EC. And more from Laxor's point of view, I think the viewers like War Thunder because you're much more likely to get some sort of exciting sort of combat, whereas in DCS that's less likely. But obviously DCS is a proper sim, so if you want accuracy and you want to see a good sim, then you go DCS. But a lot of people just want the excitement of the battle, so therefore War Thunder does win out a little bit on that.
And victory will be yours.
I'll keep it open on my old monitor, going to jump into some battlefield for a bit and hopefully catch you in DCS later.
Oh, roger that bit. I don't, actually, what's the time? Lexor probably won't be here till gone 10 o'clock. So if you want to do it now, I'll jump in DCS. But I mean, feel free to go War Thunder, but if you really fancy doing DCS, I could do it at least until Lexor turns up, probably about 20 past 10, something like that. Just going to test the voice attack.
Returning to the airfield!
Well, that worked. I'm just hoping it carries on working. I got an update to voice attack today and hoping that update has stabilised
My brother
it.
just asked me to play Battlefield, so we'll have to be later. Thanks though, smiley face.
Oh, okay. No, well, that's fine. That's fine. All good. Okay. Well, we might catch you later in DCS then, dear. Take care, mate.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
I do like the graphics of War Thunder. I think they are the best graphics of all the sims that I do. That's not really nice. Shoot me going down back to home. Yeah, I thought so. There's a player. That's why. I've got damage. Saved by the bell. Actually, I don't think he would have come after me now. I was probably getting too close to my airfield for him. I might start that again just so that Swildo gets another chance. He's probably automatically spawned in the air if he hasn't changed it like I did. says voice attack again.
Returning to the base.
Cutting my engine. I'm just looking at my other monitor for a moment. Right, now for the sake of being careful, I'm going to leave War Thunder and go to DCS. In case we go there tonight, I want to be sure that it's all working okay. So I will be going to DCS now, which means I will lose comms for a short time from the transition from War Thunder to DCS, but I'll still be here. Right, leaving War Thunder, going to DCS. Catch you soon.
Now it's time now to take a trip to Hollywood because my next guest has been
Hey Bill.
Gigi, hi. I'll just move to DCS because I want to make sure everything's working in case we come into this later on tonight. I don't want to get into it and then find something's not quite right. For example, that's taking a long time to move from here to the airfield.
Yeah.
Well, it got there. It was a bit skeletal, and now it's okay. I'll just center
What
up.
are the specs you are running with?
Oh well, voice attacker's not behaving very well. Oh, I might be on the wrong profile. It's on the right profile. Okay, don't matter for a minute. What are my specs? What you mean in terms of CPU and graphics card and stuff like that? I mean, you can see that I'm using the Warthog, the stick and throttle Warthog. I've got CH Pro pedals under the desk. I'm using this why can't I
Yeah,
never remember the
CPU.
name? Yeah, CPU is a Ryzen 7. And the graphics card, which I'm told is my weakest link, is a 1050 Ti. I'm giving it a little time because my activity light is still flashing away, so I'd like it to catch up a little bit. I suppose I could do the preliminaries. Now Gigi, I believe I've already asked you this, and I believe the answer is that you don't need it, but would you like me to talk through the start up of the Spitfire?
Absolutely, Bill.
Absolutely talk through it, or absolutely skip it? I'm going to assume for a moment you meant talk through, and I shall start doing that. Right. I can do it properly with the radio, or I can just do the quick version. What would you prefer?
Absolutely talk about it, but first show me your graphics settings first.
Are you talking about the in-game settings? Because I don't think I can get to them, or can I get to them but I can't change them? Hold on. Is that what you want to see?
In-game DCS. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to leave that on screen while I look at my other screen for a moment. When you're finished looking at this, give me a nod and I'll carry on with the startup. And I'll use the radio. I'll be polite and do it properly and use the radio to ask permissions. And of course, though these are my settings, they may not be best for my system, but I seem to be able to get away with it. If I do Alt Z, I'll be able to bring up my frame rate, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. I can't think how to get to it. No, I can't remember how to get to it. So even I don't know what my frame rate is at the moment.
Have you tried putting clouds to ultra if you are on 2.7? Nah, it's fine, start it up.
But now I've got a blue whirly wheel. if I wait for that wheel to stop. It's probably because I'm talking and using the control key. That's probably why. Because I can't close the options menu at the moment. I think if I try to, it'll just fall over and crash. I'll probably ask you this every time, same as I ask most people.
Sorry about that.
What part of the planet do you hail from? Whereabouts are you, roughly? I probably asked you already. I normally do this in game, and because I'm busy I forget almost instantly. Oh, that's a pain, the fact that I don't know whether I dare click the X button to get rid of the options screen while I've got the whirly wheel.
Egypt.
Oh yes, you have said, I do remember. Yes, hold on. I'm gonna try clicking the X button to see if I can get off or OK. I'll try OK or cancel. I'll do cancel. Oh, it's let me do it without crashing. Okay, here we go. Radio on. So radio's on. I'll put my nav lights on, just so that people near the aircraft can know I'm about to start my engine. Maybe I'll ask permission to start the engine. I think something's gone a bit slow. That's someone saying, I want about to start up, is it okay? So we'll probably get someone come back in a minute with a similar growly voice. Yeah, I'm going to have to restart, or at least come out of this mission. I'll see if that works. Oh my word. Stand by. I'll try it again from here, see if it works.
No, Alt and Z, slow down the game.
Really? I thought Alt Z also starts up the NVIDIA overlay. Okay. And I did that a couple of times, so maybe that's what slowed it up. Well, I didn't know that. That's new to me. Thank you. Hopefully it will have restored itself. Okay, I'll go straight to it and see if it works.
Mazda, Chevy, 1-1.
That's
Request
better.
startup. Chevy, 1-1. Mazda, cleared for startup.
I'll have to leave that Alt Z alone then. But Alt Z is the thing that opens up that interface. That's a bit of a awkward thing, isn't it? I really didn't know that. I could unmap it, I suppose, in DCS in that sense, because I'm never going to want to slow it down. Okay, so I've got permission. A couple of things to do. Put the parking brake fully on.
Does the spit really has that Morse kind of thing?
Yes, it does. I'll go into that in a second. Right, brake is on. I'm going to make sure my prop pitch is fully fine. And I want to put my gear light so it's visible, but I can't access it very easily. So I'm just going to push my throttle forward. So now my gear light is turned on. Okay, I'll go on to the other lights in a minute, but I'll get the engine started so it can be ticking over and warming up. First thing I'll do is put a panel lights on and open up two covers that cover the starter and booster switches. Buttons, that is. Okay, I'll now put on my magnetos, which I've got switches for at the back here. Okay, magnetos are on. And I want to put on my fuel pump and my fuel cock. Now you might hear the pump go on. It's pretty quiet, but it's there. And now I'll open the fuel cock, which is pretty much behind my right hand at the moment on the screen. Right, so magnetos are on, brake is on, prop pitch is fully fine, and the buttons are uncovered. Okay, if I prime it, it should start now, I believe. I'll give it 5 pumps to prime it. And of course, if you were to get a split Mark 9 and do all this, you would start it. In an actual one, this is realistic to that. Well, you may well be aware of that, but I just normally point that out anyway. There's a couple of things I want to point out actually to do. You've mentioned the Morse code lights, and there's another thing that you might not be aware of. In fact, I'll mention it now before I start the engine. If I turn my head round a bit, can you see that I'm pointing at these things here round about the middle of the screen? Question is, do you know what they're for? You can give yourself an orange if you get it right. Right, so either the delay is very long or you're not perhaps receiving me all the time. I'll just give it one more. There are 3 things here. Do you know what they are? In round about the middle of the screen.
Yes, so if the sight is off you replace it.
That's it. Yeah, if the sight, they're spare bulbs. Spare bulbs for the illuminated sight. Most people don't know that, and I just like to point it out because people just find it a bit fascinating. Right, okay. I'll deal with these other lights and the Morse lights in a minute. I haven't got anything set up for the Morse button, so I won't be able to demonstrate it doing Morse, but I can show you where and what it would be doing. Right, okay, I've primed. I can now start the engine, he says, hopefully, thinking that, have I done everything? I think I have. Not much to do on a spit, really. So I'm going to turn the engine over, and when it starts to catch, I'm going to throw forward the mixture lever. To start the engine, I've got to push these 2 buttons at the same time. Can't do it with the mouse, so I use the home and delete keys on the keyboard. So here we go, home and delete keys, and then I'll throw that forward. I've got a button around the back of my throttle for that. Here we go. And I should have opened the throttle a fraction before I started, but it's okay. And it's doing the thing where it won't let me zoom or move around the aircraft when I'm outside of it at the moment. For some reason it does that occasionally, I don't know why. Okay, so engine's running. Before I go much further, and so I don't forget, I'm going to set my nose down and my nose down on here to set my trim right and set my rudder trim. But before I do that, I'm going to set my altimeter. Right, now nose down. I like to use about a third of a division of nose down.
I heard someone saying that the spit is a nightmare on ground.
Absolutely, it is a nightmare on the ground. It can be. I'm going to do a famous quote that I like to make. I can't remember her name now. It might be Mary Ellis or something like that. She used to transport Spitfires, etc., from airfield to airfield during the war, and the phrase that she coined was, "Yeah, the Spitfire. She's a lady in the air, but she's a bitch on the ground." And the reason for that is you don't have toe brakes on a Spitfire. You use the rudder and this brake. So if you want to turn right, you give it right rudder and apply some of the brake, and it will put the braking on the right wheel, opposite for left, obviously. So, okay, hold on.
Ha ha. Nice one.
Yeah, and it's true. And it is when you first start flying a Spit in DCS, it can feel very uncomfortable because of that. You're using your throttle, your rudder pedals, and the brake in varying degrees. So if you see those three movements there, you're using those to control the direction of the aircraft, and it's not comfortable. I don't think so, but I'm kind of used to it now. Right, I'm going to put the brake fully on again. And I haven't yet got permission to taxi, so trying to be polite and do it right, I'll get permission.
Mazda, Chevy 1-1.
He always
Request taxi
says
to runway.
yes. Well, almost always. If I was in multiplayer, he might well say hold. If there's someone else, if there's another player nearby, he might say hold.
Clear to taxi to runway 2.
Well, I am used to the F-14, everything is easy.
Oh, well, in terms of like taxi and toe brakes and even nose wheel steering, maybe, yeah. Right, here we go. So brake off, throttle up a little bit, probably to about 13 or 1400 RPM. I'm going to stop immediately because I want to adjust track IR so that it's easier for me to show you what my rudder pedals are doing. That's it, I can more easily look down now. I haven't got to look down too far to show you my feet. So there we go again, brake off. So you want to watch the throttle, the rudder pedals and the brake. And of course if you've got too much brake, it will stop. And to get it rolling, you might have to give it a bit more throttle and less brake, and then once it's got momentum, you've got to sort of ease up on the throttle or give a bit more brake to control it. And I'll talk about takeoff as well. I didn't show you the lights. I knew there's something I'd forgotten. I was trying to remember something and I didn't know what it was. I'll put the other lights on. Hopefully I'll remember to do that when I get to the runway. So I have to take off the brake completely to get it rolling again if it stops, and then be prepared to put more brake or less throttle to keep it stable. At the end of this taxiway I will turn right onto the runway. I'll ask permission to take off. I don't do this every time, obviously. I'm getting a bit heavy on the throttle. I should try to lead the throttle. just before I get properly to the runway, I will ask permission. Sorry, I'm popping on the mic because I've got my head turned. Right, I should be able to get permission to take off now. Hold on, I'll just ask for comms. I'll try to demonstrate that. The fact that I use the word comms and voice attack to get the comms menu up. So I'll push to talk on the other push to talk button and then ask for comms. Hold on. Comms. Comms. It wasn't going to have it with me pushing both buttons at the same time. Never mind.
Mazda, Chevy 1-1, request takeoff. Chevy 1-1, Mazda, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.39.
Before I take off, I'll show you the lights, hopefully. Bit of popping and banging on the engine, that's good. Right, I'll put the lights on. So the lights are over on the right. Except I've lost my mouse. Why have I lost my mouse? I can't put the lights on because I can't see my mouse. What's going on? I can see my mouse on the other screen, but it's hidden for some reason on this screen, which means I would not be able to use it on the what do I click there and then click away? No. Oh, I'm stuck with it. Okay, can't do the lights.
Alt C for mouse.
Alt C. Okay, stand by.
Chevy 1-1, unable to clear for takeoff.
Hey, you're useful. You're very useful. Thank you.
Chevy 1-1,
So I don't.
you are cleared for takeoff when ready.
I don't.
300 at QFE 29.39.
I don't usually use the keyboard at all, so I don't know any of these shortcuts. Okay, so
Chevy 1-1, unable to clear for takeoff. Chevy 1-1, Mazda, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at
Looks like-
QFE 29.39.
looks like my nav lights aren't on. If they are, they're not very bright. I'll check. Oh, they're off.
Anytime, Bill.
That's better. Okay, I'm going to be doing it very soon. So, right, lights. I'll jump out again. So we've got your tail light, I think that goes with the nav lights. We've also got a light on the top of the fuselage and a light on the underneath, which you can't really see the glow of it very well, but it will be
Chevy
on.
1-1, unable to clear for takeoff.
I'm going to take off in a minute anyway, so he's... The
Chevy
guy that wants to
1-1,
come in can wait.
Mazda, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb
Right,
300 at QFE 29.39.
Yes, okay, thank you. Right, yeah, so I can't demonstrate
Chevy
it, but this
1-1,
light on the
unable to
top,
clear for takeoff.
he's going to keep saying that, isn't he?
Chevy 1-1,
By using this
Mazda,
switch
you are
here,
cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.39.
I can operate that top light on the top of the fuselage to give Morse code, so that if my radio goes down, I can still communicate through Morse code to other aircraft in the section. Right, I'm now going to explain takeoff. Now, so I'll just explain it. You can ignore it if you know it. To take off in the split, you want full stick back, full right aileron. throttle up to about boost 8 on the boost meter there, and then as you're moving along you're gradually bringing the stick forward to its normal position, and you can then bring it up. When it starts to pick up, you can bring it up to boost 12 on there.
Chevy 1-1.
Once,
You are cleared for takeoff when ready.
once I'm up,
Climb 300
I would then
at QFE 29.39.
we should shut up. I think I'll turn the radio off.
1. Unable to clear for take.
Okay, let's shut him up. Okay, even that. Right. So once I'm rolling and I've lifted off, gear up, and then adjust my trim to 1 division of nose up, from a third of a division nose down, 1 division of nose up. I'll then set my prop pitch to give an RPM of 2,700, which is about there, and I can then close my canopy. I'll leave my canopy open to start with, just in case they have to dig me out very quickly in the event of an accident. They don't want to have to smash through a canopy that's also designed to protect me. So yeah, that's the way we go. Whilst you're throttling up, when you're first doing it, I will be just some degree dancing on the rudder pedals like this to try and keep it straight, because we're on the ground. And once again, when you land, you've not finished when your wheels are down, not by any means. Once your wheels are down, you've then got to control the aircraft on the ground so you don't end up spinning, dipping, nosing, whatever. So here we go, stick back and full right aileron and brake off. Now I'll throttle up and see how we get on with this. Gear is going up, adjusting trip. Now adjusting prop pitch. And close my canopy. And I'm going to do, this is the test, so I'm going to do my absolute usual boring thing of going and attack some ground with it. So I've got to turn my sight on and make my guns ready, take them out of the safe position. Top the stick, little button.
Game sound.
Yeah, I can. Hold on. Is that any better?
A lot better, thanks.
Okay. I'm completely out of line now because of what I was doing. Got a few.
Do you have a call scene or I just call you Bill?
Bill is fine, absolutely fine. My username is Bill1949. I'll have a go at the fuel trucks that are scattered along the road. Oh, I only got one. Oh no, I got two. The trouble is, when you hit one that's near to you, you can't see the others because of the smoke. I should try to master the idea of shooting the most distant first and then lowering the nose to the closer target so they're not obscured by smoke. And of course I can shoot the train if I want, but then it causes a train log jam on the rails, so other trains come up behind it and can't move, so you know, it looks a bit silly. Some of those units are now exploding, having burned for a bit. And I can't seem to get track IR to work very well looking to the right. I think I've probably got to move my camera, my track IR camera, in a little bit, because at the moment it's on the edge, the outside edge of the screen, and I probably need to move it in a bit. It's probably losing track of my head because it's too far across, I'm guessing. Some of the units, the fuel trucks that you see burning slightly to the right of my site, there's another couple. There's one on the road near the bridge. There are tanks on the bridge that want to shoot me, but there's also another one just under those trees, and that's the most awkward one. And you're also putting yourself in danger of being hit by the tanks. Right, that's the worst one out of the way. So now I'll go for the one that's on the road, close to the bridge but not on it.
I've got to go now. Enjoy your print.
Okay, GG, thanks for joining me. Catch you again another time. Take care, mate. I'm going to land now anyway. Hopefully. Open cockpit. Put prop pitch to fully forward, fully fine.
Take care.
And you. TTFN.
Hey, Bill.
Hello there, sheep, alright? You're going to be a bit quiet for me at the moment, so you might have to shout at me.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, that's good, I can hear that. I'm just on finals, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just doing some work here in Space Engineers.
Alright. Well, I'm on the ground, I'm only in one piece, that's not bad. Comes. Oh, wrong button.
What's that?
I pushed the wrong button, so I'm saying comms to you instead of comms to voice attack.
Oh.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
Get them flaps up. That sound was, of course, the fuel going in.
Refueling complete.
Taking a long time
Rearming
to...
complete.
Okay, wrong button again. Yeah, they were taking a long time to rearm me. Okay. I'll take off again. So, nose down. And I doubt if I'm very straight at all on the runway. Maybe it's good enough. I'll try and straighten up a little bit, maybe. I think that's better. Okay, my trimmer's all set. I'm good to go, I think. Break off and away we go, as before. I'm going to head over to the east of the airfield where I know there's a bunch of units that are going to shoot back at me. And they're more dangerous than they used to be. Here come the tracers. Oh, what happened there? They must have hit something. My engine just died completely.
Oh, really?
It's those units to the east of the airfield that shoot back at you. Gear down, see if I can land.
Oop.
No, that didn't work well. Landing on grass, but not a grass runway. It's just bumpy grass.
Any landing you can walk away from.
I probably can. Let's see if I can. Well, I've just popped my cockpit and I'm walking. Yeah, I'm walking away. I'm walking away.
A little shaky.
Oh, I think I would be. Yeah, shaky at the least.
Uh-huh. It's like, give me that bottle now.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I've spun around looking at my aircraft. It's nosed over, obviously. Tailplane is somewhere on the grass behind it, and yeah. But yeah, I was able to walk away, so not a killer. That's not too bad. I think those ground units must have just hit my engine and killed it stone dead, because it just stopped all of a sudden, just like that. There was no, I didn't even hear any impacts, because normally you hear impacts from those units if they get you, but I didn't hear anything. Cool, that was scary. I just looked myself straight in the face then as I turned the head round, because I'm in pilot view. It looks as though he could do with a decent night's sleep, red eyes. No, it won't let me do it that way. I've got to actually choose a different spawn point. Otherwise it just brings you back here every time. Not sure where the vehicles are that I'm hearing. Right, I'm not sure what's the time. It's about any time now that Laxor could turn up, my flying squad mate. So I won't take off again. I'll just sit there looking at this lovely airplane, perhaps. Now, I'll probably take a comfort break and arrange myself some kind of a drink for when we're flying. I'm going to take a bit of a comfort break there, Sheep, and probably sort myself out a drink, and hopefully not too long we'll find Laxor turns up.
Yeah, copy that.
He quickly shoves his headphone back in. It's nearly 10:30. That's 10:30 is his premiere of the video that he did. So he won't be coming in flying just yet, I don't think.
No, I will do it later.
So I'll need to get Laxor's stream. I think what I might do, because otherwise it won't be so good for my viewers, I'm going to stop my stream and come back to my stream later once I've watched the premiere of his video. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll catch you a little bit later there, Sheep. Hopefully once we've done that, we'll are you good for flying War Thunder or whatever tonight?
I might fly a match. I do know that I have to get something to eat. I'm off again today due to rain, but I know I'll definitely be going in tomorrow.
Right.
So I've got to grab some dinner and stuff like that. So it'll be one match, maybe a match and a half, and then that'll be it.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm trying to be a good boy. I'm trying to go to bed earlier than I used to was. So I tend to quit earlier than I would have done before. So it must do us good. I'm sure Laxor needs to do that as well. Instead of turning in at 4:30, is probably not best. I've done that a couple of times just recently, but not as much as I used to. And I am trying to behave myself a little bit with that. Right, I'll catch you a bit later.
Alright, take care.
I'll stay on this channel, but I'll catch you later. Right, so for the sake of my viewers, I'm gonna stop my stream because Laxor will be streaming his premiere on Twitch at 10:30. So that's where I want to be. So I've got 6 minutes to get myself settled down and ready to watch that and get his channel up, of course. Right, so viewer, catch you later. Stopping stream now.